Isn't it? For those of you who watched the Academy Awards, my goodness, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan winning an Oscar was, I don't know about y'all, but that was just so amazing to see, right? And so I just wanted to come on because it's so many things that happen, but a lot of times you don't even realize the impact or the connection point until much later. That's why I always say, when you go through things, when you experience things, when you witness things, don't be so quick to think that you have already identified the so what, the impact, the why. Give everything time. Give it time to breathe, give it time to show what the true purpose was. Okay, so let me tell you why I say that. So about a year ago, April will be a year actually. I saw the movie Sinners in California. And what led to that was a really good friend of mine was launching a clothing line. Shout out to Bad Juju Golf. Was launching a clothing line and had invited me to come out and be a part of the launch event taking place um, in Los Angeles, California. Y'all, that was an opportunity though that at the time I didn't, immediately realize, but it came to me pretty quickly that I got a lot of family in Los Angeles, California that I had never met. Okay. Primarily an uncle. And y'all, I didn't allow myself to think about it too quickly because who knows, I probably would have talked myself out of it, but decided, you know what, I'm gonna reach out and let's see if there is the ability for us to get together and to meet each other for the first time. Y'all, like I'm in my 40s and I'm meeting this, uncle for the very first time. And where he took me was to the movies to see Sinners. Y'all. I remember a couple of people saying to me, they were like, "What? The movies? Like, how can you interact with people at the movie theater? Like, do you meet somebody for the first time?" I mean, just think about it, y'all. If you're going on a date, I guess, like, does the person take you to the movies? How do you really get to talk and get to know each other, right? But that's where we went. We went to the movies. And so to see the history made with Ryan Coogler and with Michael B. Jordan, I'll be honest, it felt special to me because it was like a marker of a very poignant, impactful, and spiritual milestone in my life where I was able to put another piece of the puzzle together where there had been some missing parts for me. And so, y'all, it got me thinking, like, wow, like I never would have known. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a great movie and all of that. But I never would have known that that singular moment would have such an impact. So even again last night, um, or this morning rather, I saw the news this morning. It just made me stop and pause and just say, wow, this is going to be something that lives with me probably in a different way, clearly, than those who are part of that body of work. But this is going to live with me for a very long time, knowing that that production was part of me being able to meet my family and figure out that piece of the puzzle. But it also got me thinking about something, y'all, because I love film, I love movies, I love making, um, you know, telling stories is rather what I'll say. And what I didn't know at the time either is that several months later that I was gonna have an opportunity to become part owner in a streaming network. Y'all, I actually am part owner of a streaming network. So no, we don't have centers on that network, but it's called premiumlive.com and the link is in the description. And we do have a free 3-day trial going on right now. So I'm asking if you would click the link in the description and just check it out and see if you are interested in becoming a subscriber. But y'all, that just was a moment I wanted to share with you because I know there's a lot of excitement and I know that there's a lot of attention that gets placed on the awards and people who are able to say, "Hey, I was nominated, but I actually was chosen." But y'all, I think there's also that recognition that we should all already feel chosen. We should already feel like winners in all aspects of our life, even without needing it to come from an artificial type of recognition through man, right? Right, we're chosen by God, we're affirmed by God. We know who we are because he affirms us in his word, right? So no need to really have those external and outward um, you know, idolatries of like this is who you are because we already know who we are. But I do think that it's worth recognizing and saying well done where that's due, right? Like let's not be to the place where we can't pause and say that. But anyway, this is just a quick just check in, y'all, because as I was really reflecting on all of the amazing media around sinners, I had that direct in like experience, and I was like, wow, I would have never thought about that, moment, meeting my uncle for the very first time and doing so at the movie theater in California, and just so happened to be watching the movie Sinners, but it made it a full circle moment for me today, y'all. And so, as I said, things do happen full circle, and I believe that it is part of God's will for that as well. And like I said, there's a free 3-day trial, and I don't think that there is a coincidence in that number three, right? And we know that the Trinity and the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost being proximate to our heart, proximate to our work, proximate to the vision God gives us is what gives that vision breath, is what gives it life, y'all. So, anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Love you.